In today's video, we're going to show you how I've gained 30 yards with the driver, plus I'm hitting it a lot straighter. And the best part is, I've done this without changing my golf swing. It has purely been down to my setup changes and a correctly fit golf club. And I know this can work for you because I've had several students do the exact same method. Let's get started.
Piers, let's just tell us a little bit about your driving and where you started and what you were doing.
So I'd say over the last 3 or 4 years, it's been sketchy. I've been scared of missing it left a little bit and right a lot. So two-way miss is never a good formula. Definitely lost a little bit of speed, started trying to hit it straighter, sort of restricting myself, teeing it really low and just giving myself a whole load of problems that way. But this is literally my old tee height, okay? So this golf ball here, that's how high I would tee it. The golf ball would be just inside the lead heel. But the problem is with the way I deliver the club, my natural way of delivering the club is by leaning the shaft forward a lot. This would mean I'm hitting down on the golf ball, bad for driving. 6 to 7 degrees of launch, bad for driving, and oftentimes I'd get high spin as a result of that. So all of that would turn me into a short hitter, plus a short scared hitter is not a good recipe.
Yeah, exactly. And the ball was teed down pretty low really from what we would normally recommend, but the setup was pretty traditional. It was like, okay, ball's in a good place, some decent tilts, yet Piers was still struggling with getting the golf ball launching. So how did the transition happen between finding out what you were going to do to the new technique, which we'll go through in a minute?
So I've kind of got to give credit. Should I do this for Chris Trott? Should I give Trotty Golf credit? But I have got to give him credit. He did an amazing job. So I had a fitting with him at the Kingdom. And I've played a bit of golf with Trotty, and he's always wanted me to hit more up on the golf ball, get that attack angle more up and launch it higher and spin it less. So he said, how are you going to do that? And I went, well, for me to hit up on the golf ball more, the only way I can really do this without really changing my swing, which would be really hard, to go from this to this, really hard. I'm just going to move the ball further forward. So I moved the golf ball forward as much as this. So I've gone from inside lead heel to, I don't know, what's that, 4 inches further forward, maybe 5 inches further forward. So it's on my big toe, which is actually flared out as well.
And it's been even further than this on some instances as well. He's had it sort of middle of the toes on some of the shots as well. Yeah,
definitely. Now from here now, if I were just to stand here with my normal setup, what would happen is, because I'm now hitting it later in the arc and it's so extreme, if we think about this, if I'm hitting up on the golf ball, that's great, but also I'm starting to swing more to the left. So the face is pointing more left, the club is swinging more to the left. So I kind of felt, and after hitting a few shots, it's just going to go left on me. So why don't I just have a change in my alignment? So this is what I did. Ball well forward.
Tee really high now.
This is like, I mean, that's like super high.
It's almost it's a ball above the club face.
Absolutely. So the point where I have to hover it. But now what I'm doing as well, my feet, knees, hips and shoulders are all aiming a lot to the right. This is to offset the fact that the club will be traveling and pointing more to the left when I'm striking the golf ball. So should I hit one, yeah?
Yeah, hit one. Just going to grab something off camera.
Okay, so I'm going to have ball well forward, as I said, aiming well right, hovering the club, and then from there, hopefully we can hit up on the golf ball now, as opposed to 2 degrees down, hopefully we can hit this golf ball on the way up. I mean,
doesn't get much better than that one.
Super high, isn't it, as well? It's so good to still watch that super high.
So that's a 15-degree launch angle. To give you some numbers here, 295 carry, 116 club head speed. Now Piers, when he was doing his older, let's say tee height and setup, was probably averaging between 113 and 115. Now he's getting 116 to 120.
Yeah.
You know, so the speed has gone up, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
Just take your setup. I want to show the guys here something else that you're doing as well. There's 2 things I want to just point out, which are really going to help you guys understand. Piers has actually probably got even a little bit more tilt in his shoulders here, but also I want you to notice where he's actually having the club in relation to the ball. There's a good gap between the ball and the club face. Piers, talk about why that is, why you're doing that and how that's going to be helpful.
So, and this is a great tip for you if you want to do this, and you should definitely try this, but by addressing the golf ball when it's so far forward, it's very easy to have your shoulders open. So they can so easily point to the left. Now, this drill I'm doing is a great way of stopping your slice, by the way. By you having your shoulders open like that, we're just going to encourage that slice.
A down and a left, which we don't want.
So by having the club head behind the golf ball like that, it's a lot easier for me to have this shoulders still pointing to the right slightly.
Yeah, so we can see these forearms now are a little closed, almost similar to the feet. Again, great way to keep the path more neutral, yeah?
Let's hit another one whilst you may want to talk about something here, but again, I'm just really almost looking down the left. And what I'm looking for when I hit this, I'm either going to pull it with a little bit of fade or I'm going to pull it onto the target. Either way, it results in hitting the fairways.
So much longer. The height on that you can see. Quickly on that, 13.2. That's probably where the average has been. 13.2 on that one. 116 miles per hour. Again, great club head speed there. A little more than he was before. One of the things that I think is really important to talk about, Pierce, is that you gain speed. How have you gained speed, and how can the viewers sort of, what can they learn from how you've gained a few more miles per hour?
One word, and you're going to love this. One word: freedom. My setter is fitting my swing, and then when I put the fit of the club into that equation as well, I now know that it's really hard for me to miss it left. So me missing the golf ball to the golf course, as it was sometimes, me missing the fairway to the left is really hard for me to do now. So I've got the freedom to stand there and just wallop it, and I'm not guiding it, I'm not protecting it. On a tight golf course like this, now I go out there and I just slam it, hit it almost as hard as I can, and it's amazing how much more accurate it is.
Isn't it a great word, wallop?
Freedom. Oh, wallop, wallop.
I think wallop's better than freedom. Anyway, let's talk about the spec, because the spec has enabled you to be free. Talk about where you were and what you've done in terms of the driver spec now.
So what had happened, Trotty obviously had spoken to me before my fitting. You just try and hit up on it. And I'm going, every time I do that, it goes too high, too much spin, I'm losing distance. Because it was a 10.5 degree. I've now got a 9 degree set at 8.25. So straight away I'm lowering the loft on that, which is fantastic. So the spin is good. High launch, but low spin. I've also got, when you actually, with these TaylorMades with a loft sleeve, when you actually decrease the loft, you open the face. Again, you take the left out of play. And I've also got the weight in here, the adjustable weight, and moved it towards the fade. That again takes left out of play.
Now what he's doing, he's going, I'm not going to try and hit the fairway. He's just giving up control. Padraig Harrington talks about this, really just losing your inhibitions, just freeing up. So now he's just going to go, right, I'm going to wallop it and not try and hit a fairway. And the result in this has not only been longer drives, but actually more fairways as well, just from having the freedom. Club speed on that one was 118.3, 291 yards carry. So it's amazing making sure how the club is now suited to him, how much now he can just actually go at it. And
that was as far left as it's going to go as well. I've probably pulled that probably 15 yards, and I really feel that I've got the confidence to not miss it left like that.
One of the quotes I always think about with Brad Faxon says this about putting: you gain control when you give up control. When we try and control and steer, especially when we feel the nerves, it doesn't often go where we want it to. What you're doing now is you're giving up control, which is actually gaining you more accuracy.
Absolutely. I'm just going to hit another one here. I like hitting shots. If I keep hitting shots, I can keep the speed up. But
go on, you go.
One thing by the hover for me is really important. Number one, it's teed up really high, and I'm just going to roof shots if I'm not careful. So hovering, it's important because of the strike, but also the move away. Look at how I'm angled here. If I move the club back and the club was on the ground, it would stick on the ground. And every now and then, I haven't actually told anyone this, every now and then I clip the ground on the way back when I'm hitting shots, even with it well hovered. So
because of the tilt in the shoulders.
Because of the tilts, yeah, it's so extreme. And look, I just need to be more extreme than others. You know, I'm taking it to the nth degree almost. So yeah, definitely stand back, Andy. I'm taking it to the nth degree because of how extreme it is.
And you'll see, you keep going, Pierce, you'll see when Pierce hits the shot, how much behind the golf ball he is at the top of the swing. You know, his upper body's leaning away, he's really onto that right leg. He's positioned well behind the golf ball, because now it brings the low point in and he can easily hit up on the golf ball there. 13.4 launch, 287 carry on that one. Probably wasn't quite middle, but 118 speed, still high speed and still a good golf
pretty good.
shot.
I mean, it's uphill as well, so obviously the carry's been taken out a little bit, you know, probably about 40, 50 yards, something like that. One thing that I definitely wanted to talk about with this as well, I'm very much matching my setup to my swing. But how can you learn from this? Can this actually help you? I have proof that it can help some of you, because I've had 5 golfers this year who have done this. Anything from Ashley, who's a 4 handicap athletic female junior golfer, to Larry, who's 72.
Athletic, 72-year-old.
He is very athletic, actually, but he hits it a long way, but he is scared to death of the driver. But what I've done with him is, by getting him this, and we have to get past the, I can't do that, that's wrong, you know, but I'm saying, no, this suits you. Because now what he feels when he's hitting shots, he feels that through the golf ball, he is just ripping the pants off it. He is smashing it, he's committing to it. I think that's a really strong word for us. He's committing to the drives and he's not fearful. He's free to be long again, I suppose.
Okay, hit me one more then. I just want to see you unleash one here. The 118 is the fastest he's got in him, I think. He can't go anything past that.
I feel like I've got to do what Harrington always said, always moving, isn't it? So.
Always moving. But this is the great thing, you know, this freedom now has actually made Pierce straighter, longer, And only 20 yards behind me now. No, he's actually been hitting it past me.
I would do this when there's trouble as well. And
exactly.
This is just the way to do it.
Exactly.
This is just the way to drive now.
Full commitment. Okay, come on.
Okay, come on. Keep moving. Oh, I just pulled it a little bit.
That's still a great drive.
Still good.
I mean, that's still left side of the fairway. I mean, I was a little...
one more.
116 there. He's 116.
I was talking too much.
305 yards carry though, because the launch and the spin was so good.
All right, come on. I'm actually going to picture what a good shot looks like. Got the umbrella, got a really narrow target to hit it between.
Do you know what your club path was there? 0.0.
Wow.
Okay, come on then.
Oh, it's pretty good for a launch.
That's nice. That is nice. It is.
So high.
Still 118.3. That's the fastest you've got in you.
I'm done.
That is the fastest. 295 carry, 174 ball speed.
Look at the attack angle. 4.3.
4.3. Rory McIlroy territory, that is. Guys, hope you enjoyed that. Some great things from Pierce there. Look, if you want to have a step-by-step guide to improving your driving, make sure you check out our coaching plan by clicking here, Total Driving, or simply download the Meandmygolf app. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.